You've been busy and so have the teams in the 7 months since opening day. Here is some help to catch up. ImageCreditCreditJohn G. Mabanglo, EPA, via ShutterstockBy. David Waldstein and Scott CacciolaWe. No, it's been a long baseball season. After 162 games this year, the Dodgers played 163, there were several rounds of playoffs to follow. And now, after all that, we're finally at the World Series. It's entirely possible you're not a fan of the Red Sox or the Dodgers, or a fan of baseball for that matter, and life has so many distractions these days. A lot happens in baseball in 7 months. Yes, it's been 7 months since opening day, so you're forgiven for not being up to speed. Here's a cheat sheet to help you sound like the authoritative baseball fan you've always wanted to sound like. Image credit Omar Rawlings, Getty Images. The Red Sox won 108 games in the regular season, which is the most Boston has ever won. It is also the 4th time they have won at least 100 games. In 2 of those 3 other seasons, the Red Sox went on to win the World Series. In 1912 they won 105 of 152 games, in 1915 they won 101 of 151 games, and in 1946 they won 104 out of 154 games. Only the 1946 team, with Ted Williams, failed to win the World Series. Credit Chang W. The New York Times. Chris Sale is Boston's top starting pitcher, their so-called ace, but he developed a shoulder injury late in the season and barely pitched over the final 2 months. He made 1 start in August and 4 more in September. But the velocity on his pitches declined noticeably and he never pitched past the 5th inning in any of those 5 games. It was a subject of great debate in Boston. Did Sale have a serious injury, or were the Red Sox pampering him, dialing back his workload intentionally because he had a history of fading late in the season? He pitched in Game 1 against the Astros, and the next day developed a nasty stomach virus that landed him in the hospital overnight. He did not pitch again against Houston. Sale was said to have lost weight, which is alarming because he was already a skinny dude. Still, he is the likely starter for Game 1, but what will he have for that game? It's a burning question for the Red Sox. Then again, every time an obstacle appears, Boston seems to win anyway. Credit Bob Levy, Getty Images. Scora, who, by the way, played for the Dodgers for 7 seasons, is a rookie manager who has been very aggressive in his decision-making. He has treated early games in each series as must-win propositions, and it has worked out well. While managers have long used their best starting pitchers in relief, it is usually in elimination games or extra innings. Cora does it all the time. The reason for the tactic is that Boston's bullpen is its weakest link, but Cora has managed around it. Credit Carson Moran for the New York Times. Greg Kimbrell, Boston's shaky closer, was tipping his pitches in the postseason. That means he was doing something that tipped off the other team as to what pitch he was about to throw. Whatever the cause, he did not pitch well at all in the postseason, and it always happened late in the games, so most of your colleagues were asleep at the time. Cora said Kimbrell was inadvertently signaling the upcoming pitch with the position of his glove before he threw it. When his glove was high, it was a straight fastball. When the glove was low, it was a slider or curve. That would theoretically give the batter a huge advantage. Cora said a friend in baseball noticed it while watching on television and texted the manager before Game 5 of the ALCS against Houston. So watch Kimbrell, glove and all. Credit Bain Collection, Library of Congress. This is the 100th anniversary of the Red Sox' 3rd and last World Series title with Babe Ruth. It is also the first time the Dodgers and Red Sox have met in the World Series since 1916. Ruth pitched a 14-inning complete game victory in Game 2, which the Red Sox won on their way to the title. But about a year after the 1918 World Series, Red Sox owner and theatrical producer Harry Frazee sold Ruth to the Yankees in order to raise money to produce the musical, No, Nanette. That transaction was said to be a disaster for Boston baseball, but it gave the world tea for two, and the Yankees a legend.
ImageCreditCreditJohn Vasquez, USA Today Sports, via Reuters. Clayton Kershaw, the finest starting pitcher on the Dodgers staff, and perhaps the best of his generation, has had an up-and-down postseason history. Kershaw, who has spent his entire 11-year career with the Dodgers, is a 7-time All-Star and a 3-time Cy Young Award winner. He is incredibly popular in Los Angeles and has adorable children, who sometimes join him for post-game news conferences. But as dominant as he is in the regular season, with a career 2.39 earned run average, he has struggled to a 9-8 career record in the playoffs with a bloated 4.09 ERA. His 2018 postseason has been another mixed bag. For example, he was brilliant in Game 2 of the National League Division Series, throwing 8 shutout innings in a win against the Atlanta Braves. But then, against the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Championship Series, he was inconsistent. One rocky start, one good start, and then an inning of flawless relief in Game 7 to seal the pennant. Kershaw will likely start Game 1 against the Red Sox, but his future is uncertain. Kershaw can opt out of his contract this offseason and become a free agent. Credits Leader, Associated Press. The Dodgers have not won a World Series since 1988, back when Kirk Gibson was hobbling around the base paths and Orel Hershiser was one of the game's most feared pitchers. But they came tantalizing close last year, losing in 7 games to the Houston Astros. That the Dodgers are back in the World Series is not a surprise. They had the 3rd highest player payroll in the majors this season, but they did not make things easy on themselves. Or maybe they just had a flair for the dramatic. They scuffled to a 16-26 start, coped with a batch of injuries, then swept the San Francisco Giants in their final series of the regular season to force an extra game against the Colorado Rockies for the division title. So a 7-game series against the Brewers in the NLCS was about as predictable as LA traffic. Credit Curtis Compton, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, via Associated Press. After appearing in 26 games, Corey Seager, the Dodgers' all-star shortstop, underwent season-ending Tommy John surgery. It was a huge blow for the team, which sought help at the trade deadline by acquiring Manny Machado from the Baltimore Orioles. Machado, who is due for free agency, is known in baseball jargon as a rental. In other words, his time in Los Angeles might be short. But it has not been boring. In the NLCS, Machado really irritated the Brewers and their fans, with some truly obnoxious base running. He also managed to tick off Jim Palmer, the Hall of Fame pitcher who now works as a broadcaster for the Orioles, but Machado has also given the Dodgers some much-needed pop at the plate, hitting .250 with 3 home runs and 9 RBI. In the postseason, the Dodgers have a very crowded and star-powered owner's box. Guggenheim Baseball Management, a group led by the billionaire Mark Walter, bought the team in 2012. Magic Johnson, the president of the Los Angeles Lakers, is a partner, and Billie Jean King, the tennis great, joined the ownership group in September along with her partner, Ilana Kloss. Of course, the stands are well stocked with celebrities. Ashton Kutcher, Will Ferrell, Jennifer Lopez and assorted Lakers have been spotted at games. The Red Sox will always have Matt Damon, Ben Affleck and Mark Wahlberg. Credit Robert Hanasciero, USA Today Sports, via Reuters. Justin Turner, the Dodgers' starting third baseman, is, by any measure, a solid hitter. In 10 big league seasons, Turner has hit .292 with a .366 on-base percentage and .463 slugging percentage. But something interesting seems to happen to this guy in the playoffs. He becomes an outsized version of himself, hitting .310 with a .425 on-base percentage and a .516 slugging percentage. The Brewers felt his familiar postseason wrath in Game 2 of the NLCS, when he smashed a 2-run, go-ahead homer that lifted the Dodgers to a 4-3 victory. Oh, and here's something else worth noting. Turner once played for the Mets, who declined to offer him a contract after the 2013 season. He also has a really fun beard.